I became the DPE by default, but I've actually enjoyed it quite a lot. The advantage is that I can sort of have a bird's eye view of what's going on with the training, and when the trainee comes through, I'm able to actually give them an overview and orientation of what's actually going on, and able to actually monitor their progress through the posting. So I found that it's actually quite valuable to have someone who's actually coordinating the whole position.
I've been a DPE for about 2.5 years, and the reason why I became a DPE is I'm really passionate about medical education and the training of our junior doctors. I enjoy the mentoring aspect of being a DPE and getting to know my trainees and helping them through their training journey. I get a great sense of satisfaction with my trainees and seeing them progress through their training, not only in their knowledge and their skill development, but also in their own personal and professional development. I also became a DPE because I wanted to effect change in my own hospital and in my own organisation, and I wanted to improve the training for our current basic and advanced trainees.
I had excellent training experiences as well. And I think just that realisation that that wasn't something that came about by chance, that needed people to steer and to drive. The role of the DPE is a quite unique role often in your organisation, and it's stimulating, it's challenging at times, it's very stimulating. You interact with so many different colleagues. You know, I'm in my sort of day job, so to speak, as a clinician. I'm in my little silo. I do interact with other colleagues, but as a DPE, I interact with all the trainees and interact with all my, colleagues in the hospital, and that sense of connection is much deeper in my hospital because of that, and then with the community, I think, you're more deeply embedded.
When I got my letters, I was asked whether I wanted to take on the role of Deputy DPE, and I said yes, because I really liked my year as Chief Med Reg, and also I was fortunate to have still had the Senior DPE in that role to give me some support in that first year. And yeah, that was, I think, 3 years ago, or just over 2 years ago, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I'd like to keep going with the job. I really like being able to be a part of looking at processes within the hospital, looking at what the college is trying to do, trying to put them together, and working out how to make my hospital a hospital where people go, look, we really want to come here because we're going to get amazing training, we're going to have a really supportive unit that's interested in us doing well and succeeding, and they're going to advocate for us within the hospital, but they're going to make sure that we work hard enough to get value out of being here.
I suppose the most important trick there is to keep on top of your work and to make sure that you're actually aware about what are the requirements for each trainee, and to sort of keep an eye on how the trainee is going in terms of fulfilling those requirements.
It's really important to maintain good relationships with your ward supervisors. Because I don't work directly with every single one of my trainees, I'm really reliant on the ward supervisors to tell me what's happening with my trainees and to let me know the ones who are doing well and also the ones who might be struggling a bit. Another tip is to make good relationships with other DPEs around you. So I work in the Auckland region, and we have 2 other DPEs who we meet together regularly, and we can discuss trainees and what's happening when those trainees rotate around the hospitals. It's also good to network with other DPEs and find out what's happening in their own hospitals, what sort of problems they're facing, because they're often the same problems that you're facing, and some of the innovations that they have in their own hospitals, which you can then take back and use in your own.
So I think as a new DPE, you have to be very organised. You have to understand what the role is about. So you need not only a handover from the previous DPE, the DPE induction helps a lot, but also you have to know who your local contacts are. For example, the education officers in the local college offices. You have to make contacts, have telephone numbers, email addresses for the relevant people in the college that you need to speak to for advice. So as a new DPE, the first thing you have to do is come to grips with the role, find out what it's all about, organise yourself, organise lists of who the people are that you're responsible for, and more importantly, organise lists of the people who can help support you in the role. You need a really good handover from your predecessor. You also need to attend the college education workshop for DPEs, and if available, a workshop about the PrEP program. There are a lot of people available in the college to support you in the role, both in Sydney and in the local state offices. The member support officers are excellent. They'll come to the hospital, they'll guide you through the website, they'll come and give small presentations to your early start BPTs, and they'll help you with other problems. At a local level, there's also support from your colleagues. Each of the major hospitals will have a DPE who may be the DPE for a network or just for that hospital. A lot of the hospitals will have local education meetings, and you should go to that as a representative for physician training. There will also be a local or state DPE meeting, and that's where you network with your colleagues.
I think also understanding where you as a DPE fit within the hospital, who you can talk to for issues within the hospital that are affecting your trainees, and then knowing where your hospital sits within the state or the region or the network, or however it's set up. We're a network-based system, so knowing who to speak to there to get support. Particularly, I suppose the biggest thing is really working out how to deliver education. Yeah, I just ask for help, really. If you have chief medical registrars, use them. If you have admin support, use them. Most of us have busy clinical jobs as well, so it's not like this is the only thing that we do. But I think we all like to think that we can do everything by ourselves sometimes, but it doesn't really work like that. I have learnt that.